The purpose of this post is to share 3 anecdotes from my life. In the opening tale, the characters must piece together fragments of information. I was supposed to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife, but when I came out they drank and drove. So I dropped out after the first 6 months and stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. My story begins before I was even born, when my biological mother, a young unwed graduate student, decided to put me up for adoption. Because she felt strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates. Reed University at the time had some of the best calligraphy instruction in the country, as a result. The entire campus, including every poster, label, and drawer, was decorated with exquisite hand calligraphy. In order to acquire the skills necessary for this endeavor, I enrolled in a calligraphy course, where I was introduced to serif and sans serif typefaces. The importance of altering the amount of space between letters and other aspects of what makes great typography wonderful. Beautiful, historical, artistic, subtle in a way that science can't capture, fascinating, no hope of practical application. 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac, the first computer with beautiful typography. The laws of karma and fate apply to anything because having faith that things will fall into place in the end will give you the courage to follow your heart even when it leads you off the beaten path. The subject of my second tale is heartbreak. Fortunately, I was able to launch Apple Computer in my parents' garage when I was only 20 years old, doing work I truly enjoy. We put in the time and effort, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from 2 people in a garage to a multi-billion-dollar business with more than 4,000 workers. We had just introduced our finest innovation, the Macintosh, the year before, and I had just turned 30. And then I was fired. You might be wondering, how can you get fired from a company you started? Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the first year or so things went well. However, as our visions of the future began to diverge, we eventually had a falling out, and when we did, our board of directors sided with him, and so at age 30, I was very publicly out. Despite my dismissal from Apple, my enthusiasm for my work remained unabated. I felt rejected, but I was still in love with my work, and so I decided to begin again. During the next 5 years, I founded a company called Next, another company called Pixar, and fell in love with a lovely lady who would become my wife. I went from feeling the weight of success to the lightness of being a novice again, less sure about things. After making the groundbreaking computer animated film Toy Story, Pixar went on to become the most successful animation studio in the world. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple. The technology we developed next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And Lorraine and I have a wonderful family together. Keeping your religion alive is vital. You have to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your loves. I know it's what kept me going. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know it when you find it, and like any great relationship, it only gets better and better as the years roll on, so keep looking and don't settle. My third anecdote concerns the finality of life. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it were your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." This stuck with me, and for the past 33 years, I've asked myself in the mirror whether or not I'm doing the things I'd want to do if today were my last day. Dogma is living with the results of other people's thinking, so don't let it trap you. It's the best invention of life because it clears the way for the new. Right now, the new is you. Not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Listen to your heart and intuition, they know what you were meant to accomplish in life, and will guide you there regardless of the advice of others. You'll be as stupid as you are hungry if you